Well, moving into our next story of the day, we got Byron Donalds back again, baby. Byron, basically doing yeoman's work here and destroying the EPA regarding all these electric vehicles and mining lithium and cobalt and other minerals. He does a phenomenal job here. They struggle trying to answer realistic questions other than one guy. He just gives a true and false answer. He does a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job, folks. Phenomenal job getting a question received and answering it clearly, which the Biden administration doesn't seem to know how to do. You look at Karine Jean-Pierre, she makes up shit left and right, folks. But hell, nonetheless, we're going to sit here and roll it. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's continue.
Thank you. Chair now recognizes Mr. Donalds from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, witnesses. I always find it interesting when we go over this topic. One thing, let's be clear, the EPA has no authority for this rule. Once again, we have another agency somewhere in this administration coloring in the outsides of whatever their congressional purview is. And this administration is more than comfortable doing it because they know they cannot come to the Congress to get the votes for what they want to do. That's why EPA is doing this. I know this is a different committee I sit on, but that's why the SEC is doing what the SEC does, and we can go all through the alphabet soup agencies. Mr. Bradbury, a couple of things. I want to just get to a couple of key areas here. Hold on, lost my place. Here we go. True or false? President Biden says he wants 50% of new cars to be electric by 2030.
True, but I guess now it's 60%.
Okay. True or false, in order to meet Tesla's EV needs, and this is only Tesla, by the way, by 2030, global lithium supply must be increased by X times.
Oh, it definitely has to increase somehow. We don't know from where. It has to increase greatly. Yes.
Okay. True or false, typical.
I'll tell you from where. China. It's from China. There isn't that racist? No. It's from China. That's where they're going to have to get all this stuff from, folks. China, South Africa, South America. That's where they have to get all this stuff from. But I'll let them continue. I'm sorry. I'll let them continue.
Electric car requires 6 times the mineral inputs of a conventional car.
Yes.
True or false, nuclear energy is the most viable option for a steady stream of reliable, affordable, carbon-free electricity to power EV charging stations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
I'm sorry, what?
Nuclear power.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Not an expert, but.
That's fine. Last question. If 50% of the cars were electric vehicles today, is there enough power on the electric grid to charge them all?
Absolutely not. No.
I want to circle back to one thing, and Ms. Baker-Bransford, I was listening to your testimony. We kind of established the fact pattern that in order to accomplish what I believe you do support, we'd have to massively expand lithium mining, not to mention other mining capacities. Currently in the world today, who dominates lithium mining?
So lithium processing is dominated by China. It's mined in several other places as well.
Do you know some of the countries where it's mined?
In South America as well.
South America, any other places? Are they mining in Africa?
Lithium, I don't think it's a major lithium producer, no.
Okay, are they mining cobalt in Africa?
Yes.
Is cobalt necessary for an electric vehicle?
It is in the dominant chemistry at the moment, yes.
Okay, let me answer this question. You say in your testimony that essentially referring to the current internal combustion engine, that in addition to carbon dioxide, heavy-duty vehicles emit or contribute.
Folks, I'm sorry. If you're curious on where you can get a beautiful mug like this, link is in the description. We drink coffee every morning together as a community here of Republicans and conservatives. Maybe there's some independents and Democrats in here, but hey, grab yourself a copy of the Bald Brad Show. We got the American flag on the back. We got the logo on the front, folks. Coffee's never tasted more American than this. Join us if you haven't already.
To ozone, particulate matter, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon monoxide, and other air toxins that are especially harmful to children's developing bodies. Are you aware that the Chinese use child slave labor in some of their mines to mine critical minerals?
Yes, and in Africa as well. That's why we need to onshore and friendshore the supply chain. We should clean it up, and we should be very involved and be a leader in this space.
Do you think that the United States...
Folks, she wants to bring mining here. The EPA wants to bring mining the United States. Let that one sink in. The same people that won't even let you dig a hole next to a random river wants to bring massive mining efforts to the United States. The same people that don't want to have a freaking nice pipeline so you have cheaper gas here in the United States, that doesn't even want to drill for oil, wants to bring mining here in the United States. Just let that sink in. The same people that won't even let you put shipping containers on the border in the middle of the desert, there ain't nothing around, want you to remove it because it's not environmentally friendly. The same people that want to regulate gas stoves want to bring mining here in America. Let that one sink in.
They should even be dealing with electric vehicles right now, considering all critical minerals come from mines that employ child slave labor?
So, like I said, it's important for us to move in the right direction, and the IRA incentives are helping us do that, both for domestic content as well as critical minerals coming from safer places.
I got a question for you. Since the EPA is so enthralled with what's coming out of the tailpipe of an average American, is the same EPA going to be just moving through the permitting for new lithium mines and other mines in the United States? Or are they going to also want to put that off on other countries?
So lithium mining is on the table in the United States. And
On the table? Define.
Yes.
Explain that.
that there are permits that are currently pending.
So the EPA that wants to ban gas stoves and is concerned about what's coming out of a tailpipe now wants to allow lithium mining in the United States? They're just going to say, oh yeah, cool, let's do it?
So mining definitely needs to be done in a safer way. The US and North America can do it safer than other places.
I agree with her. I agree with her. Yes. Okay. I agree with drilling, mining, all that stuff here in the United States. Yes, we could do it better, not necessarily cheaper. Okay, not necessarily cheaper, meaning the cost of probably those electric vehicles or the EVs are going to go up. But I do agree, yes, we should drill, we should mine here. We shouldn't have child slavery or whatever you want to call it around the globe, children working in mines and doing all those things that was caught on camera. I don't agree with that happening. But there's hypocrisy happening here. The same people that are all about the environment want to destroy the environment. I mean, these are huge mines that are taking place. Let's see what Byron has to say.
This is true for all mining, for all consumer products and everything, including
Now,
traditional vehicles.
I'm glad you said that, because I actually agree with that point. The United States can actually mine for all these critical minerals, whether right here at home, which means jobs for Americans, but also in friendly places around the globe. But we can actually do that better, and we do it cleaner than the Chinese do. My concern is that the EPA's radical push towards electric vehicles, what that's really going to do, it's going to price out the very poor. Poor people don't have money to buy an electric vehicle. I know, because I grew up poor. We didn't even have a car. So then if I just have a car and you tell me that I have to spend $20,000 more to buy an electric vehicle, I just find that to be crazy.
Right.
Because that disrespects my pocketbook. It disrespects the pocketbook of every American on the lower side of our economic spectrum. Wouldn't you agree with that?
So EVs are dropping in price, and the standards from
They don't get
EPA
it.
are for new vehicles.
Mr. Chairman, I know I'm out of time. Quick question for my indulgence. What's cheaper, a internal combustion used car or an electric used car?
It depends on the vehicle class and type.
Come on.
Unbelievable.
I yield back.
It's a joke. And you see how these people are politically motivated. Well, it depends on the vehicle. It's a stop. I mean, yes, it depends on the vehicle, but everybody knows that you can get a combustible engine a lot cheaper than an EV. Our grid can't handle electric vehicles, folks. Everybody knows this. They want to put wind and solar out there. The EPA, the Democrats, the ones that are the climate extremists, just let this sink in, want to ruin land. This is them, want to ruin land by building solar panels and windmills. The same people. All the while you have the most cleanest energy that's ever been, called nuclear. Nuclear energy. Kim Jong-un has nukes, supposedly. Mine's bigger. I got the red button, Kim Jong-un. Rocket man. Look, nuclear energy is there and Democrats don't want to do it. They don't want to do it, which is why you had Byron here bringing it up, which was a great point that he made. Furthermore, you just see how I don't want to say the word untrustworthy, maybe that is the correct word to use, but basically how disingenuous these people are, where they can't answer basic questions, and it's all politicized and everything like that, but it's also hypocritical. Every year in California, it gets hot. Every year. You guys, you can predict the weather. It's going to get hot in California. And what do they do with all that? They sit there and throttle our temperature, our thermostats, and all that stuff. And they say, hey, you know what? Don't plug in your electric vehicles because the grid can't handle it. We're all like on the highest level of emergency that we could possibly be. There's going to be rolling blackouts everywhere. So the same people that want to sit there and force you in a nutshell to buy an electric vehicle, because you can't buy a gas-powered vehicle in the state of California. I think it was like 2025 or something, or 2030. People, one, can't afford it. And two, there's nowhere to plug it in. And three, when you plug it in, there's going to be rolling blackouts. The same state that can't build a freaking infrastructure, that's billions of dollars in debt, I want to force this upon you. And the people that primarily get hurt are the middle class and the low income class. And she can't even be genuine enough to say, yeah, you know, we're really screwing over poor people. Like, who the hell is going to have the money to buy an EV? Well, they're going down in price. Well, that's because China's the one that's mining half this stuff. When we do it, Americans are going to want more moolah, more fedia, all right? And that's going to cost more to produce these electric vehicles. EV, yes, we could do it better, but it's going to be more expensive, especially the red tape that the EP puts in this whole thing. So let me know, do you think we should mine lithium, cobalt, and all those luscious minerals here on U.S. soil? The best soil you've ever seen. The most purest soil. It's like coffee grinds. You can eat it. You can put it in your drink. You can put it on your ice cream, folks. The best soil you've ever seen. Should we do that? I want to know your opinion about this whole thing. And just hit that like button for Byron, man. Byron is making airwaves right now. We love the guy here on the Bald Brad Show. So hit that like button. Leave us a comment for Byron. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.